So we're back to where it all began over a year ago now, yes. 1 year of Athena here, 1 year of breastfeeding. And it's been a journey. I think people expect if you've breastfed before, oh, you know what you're doing, but each baby is different. It sounds like a cliche, but also each baby is different and every experience is different. You at different stages in life, work, health. And I think what I've learned is support is key, and support that works around you, what works for you. Obviously you develop confidence as you go, but without that support where you're like, what am I doing? Is this the right position? Are they having enough? Learning that trust in your own body, that your body will provide and your body will be enough. I think that's something like a society we don't do enough, where we don't kind of see what our body can do. And I think, gosh, if it's managed to grow a child, it's pretty epic, no matter how perfectly imperfect you think your body is. If you manage to care for a child and you're lucky enough to be able to breastfeed, then it's trusting your instincts, trust that you can give birth. And I think in our medical system, the way we medicalise things, we like treat people as if they shouldn't have confidence in their own body. But even when they say about kids being ill, they say, like, obviously the parent always knows best, in the sense of, yeah, you might not be better than a medic, but you know when something's wrong with your child. And it's to trust that gut instinct, and that genuine gut instinct, not just the worry and the guilt and all that. It's the gut level thing. It's like legs in the air, like you just don't care. But it's been really eye-opening now, breastfeeding, because I've really found it positive this time round. I find so many more people are positive about breastfeeding, and I've only really had it recently since she turned 1, like how long you're breastfeeding for and all this. Because I feel like in our minds we always think something needs a start and an end, so we like starts and ends, whereas people aren't as comfortable with going with the flow. But when it comes to me and Athena, I've literally gone with the flow. I feel a lot more comfortable that I haven't tried to separate Athena childcare and then my work separately, that I've kind of just had this, I guess it's more confidence now, to just kind of be like, well, I'll either do this thing if Athena can come. If she can't come, that's absolutely fine. I'm not gonna like throw my toys out pram, but I won't go, not to be funny, but I just won't go, because to me it'll be more stressful if I go. And I've had to try and find her childcare and express milk. I'll just find it all too much, and it's just knowing your limits and knowing your boundaries, and asserting those, even if you need to say it out loud a few times. It's asserting it, and it's not having that fear of missing out. Luckily I don't really have that. I have the opposite, fear of going. But it's not that fear of missing out, it's knowing that, will I actually be happy there? It's not about the picture, it's about the reality, not about getting the snap or the picture perfect reality. It's like, okay, is that worth it to me? It might be, and that's absolutely fine. You might be someone who needs childcare for your own sanity. And again, it's what works for you. And this is the same thing with breastfeeding. It is working around you, trusting yourself, trusting your instincts, but not feeling forced to do anything a certain way. And unfortunately, we are still having to lead the way. We are still having to ask for like allowances when it comes to feeding, and people don't quite understand that you need to take them everywhere if you're going to breastfeed directly, or you're not expressing and stuff. We still have this very segmented way. But then I think, well, knowledge is power, and all you can do is educate people, but also lead by example, and just kind of go, well, I can't because I'm breastfeeding. And it's not me being like funny, it's just that is what it is. And then hopefully people will start, and I think people are starting to thinking, oh, well, actually I'm going to exclude a whole big bunch of people by not doing that. And those who've asked me like, when are you stopping? I always think it's more of a case of like, what's your journey like when she fully weaned, but that's up to her. But most people don't realise that the World Health Organization, WHO, recommend breastfeeding up till 2 and beyond, not until 2 and that's it, at least until 2 years old, which shocks a lot of people, especially in Britain and in the West, because we like to kind of go, right, 6 months, and obviously 6 months is great because that's like the big chunk where it's really important, but just as long as possible and as long as it's right for you and your baby is what I've learned, and just to keep doing it and doing it your own way. Surround yourself by people who just accept you as you are and as your baby is as well, because whether you've got kids or not, life can be challenging, shall we say, perfectly imperfect in many ways. We're in all sorts of different situations, families, people on their own, blended families, there's all sorts of, there's no one size fits all anymore, and it's just having people where you can be your true authentic self, whether that be baps out and feeding or not at all, whatever that be you, and get those people around you, because that makes all the difference. Anyway, happy birthday, Baba, and now she's asleep. Peace, love, shimmies.